Well, shalom once again from all of us here at Jewish Voice. Today marks 263 days, believe it or not, since the atrocities and the massacres of the morning of October 7th ignited what's become an ongoing war in and around Israel in the Gaza Strip. And now, as we head into summer 2024, a potential new war front igniting with Hezbollah on the northern borders of Israel, between Israel and Lebanon. And what's really interesting to me, you may be surprised to hear this, is that I just checked Fox News, CNN, and BBC, and did you know none of these major media outlets mention anything on their homepage today about the ongoing Israel conflict, the situation that for months was on front page news. You couldn't get away from it. And it seems just like what happened some time ago with the Ukraine situation, the world has fatigued on hearing about Israel and the Middle East conflict, and it's turned its attention other places. But I'll tell you where that's not the case. It's not the case in the land of Israel. Spouse of one of our staff members who was born and raised in Israel just returned a couple weeks ago to the land of Israel to visit family and friends, some of whom are serving in the military. And she said that anywhere you go, the airport, bus stations, train stations, grocery stores, religious congregations and synagogues, everywhere you go in Israel, what you're going to see is posters of the remaining hostages. In Israel, the war is a daily reality. The reality that there are Israelis being held captive, some of whom being tortured or worse in tunnels and prison cells in Gaza, is an ongoing reality that the Israeli public can't forget. And I want to ask you as well, who are committed to continue to stand with Israel, not to forget those hostages in prayer. And I want to ask you as well to join us here at Jewish Voice in a couple other specific prayer points. As summer has began, would you pray that the war front that could ignite at any moment on the border between Israel and Lebanon is held off, and that those who are conspiring with Hezbollah, Iran, other forces in that region to attack the Jewish people yet again, even more than what happened on October 7th from the north this time, that those plans would come to nothing, that they would be confused and divided amongst themselves, and that the Lord would continue to protect the land and the people of Israel. Also, just like here in the United States, you may be surprised or you may not be surprised to hear that Israel remains embroiled in divisive, intense political strife, turmoil that may lead to yet another series of elections, the fourth or fifth series of elections in only a few years. And as we've experienced here in America, that can affect the believing community as well. So I want to ask you specifically to pray for unity and strength for the believing community, both Jewish believers in Israel as well as Arab Christians in Israel and the surrounding region. We know and we believe, according to the scriptures, that the Lord by His Spirit gives unity. It's nothing that can be faked, and it's nothing that can be manufactured by man-made methods or intent or attempts, but the Lord by His Spirit can give that unity. And we're continuing to hear incredible testimonies from our over 80 partner ministries and congregations, para-congregational ministries on the ground throughout Israel, of the unity and the strength that the Lord is giving them as this war approaches 300 days and counting in just a few weeks. So we're praying for the protection of the land and borders of Israel, the miraculous protection of those in the Israel Defense Force who are defending the state of Israel and the borders of the land at this moment. And we're praying for unity and strength and really refreshment this summer among the body of believers in Israel. As we get more prayer requests from our partners on the ground, we'll share them with you. While the world's turning off the news about Israel, I want to ask you to stay tuned in to the heart of the Lord, to His plans and promises according to the scriptures. And thank you for persevering in prayer and for continuing to stand with Israel and Jewish people wherever they are in the world, as anti-Semitism continues to grow to levels we haven't seen since World War II. Thanks for standing with us, and thanks for standing and praying with the Jewish people and for Israel.